Gang violence is a major issue in the United States. A few extremely violent gangs with intense rivalries and brutal hierarchies are responsible for thousands of deaths each year, affecting both innocent people and members of other gangs. Local law enforcement agencies are no longer equipped to handle this problem on their own. It's a much larger issue, and federal authorities have been aware of this fact for a long time. Here are the top 10 most dangerous gangs that the FBI is always keeping an eye on. MS13. The gang called Mara Salvatrucha, or MS13, is notorious for having approximately 10,000 members and is regarded as one of the most perilous and violent gangs in operation today. They have a presence in over 40 cities across the United States. The gang originated in the Salvadoran immigrant community in Los Angeles during the 1980s, but their unlawful activities span extensively across the northern, eastern, and southern regions of the country. Their criminal expertise encompasses a wide range of illegal activities, including drug trafficking, murder, extortion, racketeering, and even involvement in child prostitution. The gang's influence has extended to their home country of El Salvador due to the significant number of gang members who have been deported back there. Their impact even extends to the political parties in El Salvador. In 2012, during the Obama administration, MS13 was officially labeled an international criminal organization. Barrio 18. The 18th Street Gang, also known as Barrio 18 or M18, is a significant youth gang that operates not only in the United States but also in Central America and even Canada. Since the 1990s, the FBI has been actively engaged in a major effort to combat this gang, aiming to eradicate its involvement in a wide array of illegal activities, including drug trafficking, contract killing, prostitution, extortion, and kidnapping. While many of its members tend to have Mexican heritage, the gang has expanded its reach to include individuals from other nationalities in recent years. The Barrio 18 gang considers MS13 to be its primary rival, and conflicts between these two groups have led to numerous gang-related homicides over time. Presently, the gang boasts a membership numbering in the tens of thousands across the United States alone. The FBI recognizes the necessity of maintaining close scrutiny over this organization to address its activities effectively. Aryan Brotherhood. In contrast to the other gangs mentioned earlier, the Aryan Brotherhood stands out as a gang with a significant presence within the federal prison system of the United States. According to the FBI, although the gang's members constitute less than 0.1% of the prison population, they are responsible for a staggering 20% of all homicides occurring in jail throughout the country. Referred to also as the Brand, AB, or 1-2, this organization has been operational since the 1960s. While its initial roots may have been connected to themes resembling Nazism, it has since transformed into a fully fledged criminal syndicate. The Aryan Brotherhood is particularly ominous. One non-negotiable requirement for joining is the act of killing a black or Hispanic inmate. Moreover, once you become a member, there is no way out. The gang's membership stands at around 10,000 both inside and outside of prison walls, and once you're in, you are bound to the Brotherhood for life. Remarkably, recent evidence points to the Aryan Brotherhood's involvement in the brazen murder of 2 Texas prosecutors. This group is undoubtedly a deeply concerning and intimidating presence. Mongols MC. We might tune into shows like the immensely popular Sons of Anarchy on cable television and perceive the characters' portrayals as something wildly imaginative. However, the reality is that these depictions are more closely aligned with actual events than one might assume. A real-world counterpart to the Samkro depiction on television is the Mongols Motorcycle Club, established in the 1970s in California. Their name draws inspiration from the formidable Mongol Empire led by Genghis Khan. With a presence spanning the nation, they're known to have over 70 chapters. Their specialization encompasses the distribution and transportation of illegal drugs, as well as engaging in activities like money laundering, extortion, and armed assaults. While their relationship with the Hells Angels is strained, they maintain a mutually beneficial alliance with other motorcycle clubs such as the Outlaws, Bandidos, and Sons of Silence. Just as in fiction, these real-life groups exemplify a parallel world of intrigue and criminal dynamics. Chicago's splinter gangs. If you've been following the recent news, you're likely aware that the level of gang violence in Chicago is escalating at an alarming rate. Even the determined efforts of Mayor Rahm Emanuel seem to be struggling to gain control over this crisis. In 2012, the city saw a staggering 503 murders, followed by 415 in 2013. The heart of this issue lies in the city's gang problem, particularly concentrated in the rougher South Side. During the 1970s and 80s, larger and more organized gangs such as the Gangster Disciples, the Hit Squad, and the Killa Ward held sway. However, a significant crackdown by the Chicago Police Department led to the incarceration of many of these gang leaders. Unfortunately, this has given rise to a more perilous landscape marked by scattered splinter groups operating with limited territory and no established codes of conduct. What's most alarming is that, even within these smaller gangs, the streets remain flooded with weapons, and those behind the triggers are often young teenagers as young as 14 years old. The situation is truly distressing and represents a deeply troubling state of affairs. The Bloods. Originating in the 1960s in Los Angeles, the infamous Bloods gang later expanded its influence to various prisons in Texas during the 1980s. Since its establishment, the Bloods gang, represented by the color red, has maintained a fierce rivalry with the Crips gang, identified by their association with the color blue. Decades after its inception, the East Coast Bloods emerged in New York City, evolving into a potent criminal organization in its own right. Notably, just last year, a judge in Manhattan sentenced Omar Porte, one of the founding members of the East Coast Bloods, to a 50-year prison term. During the trial, prosecutors successfully demonstrated that the East Coast Bloods held the distinction of being the largest and most violent street gang in New York City. Moreover, they established that this group shared comparable criminal and violent ideologies with the West Coast gang bearing the same name. The Mexican Mafia. The Mexican Mafia is a gang deeply entrenched within the American prison system, with its origins dating back to the 1950s. Initially concentrated within the California Department of Corrections, it's known by other monikers like M or Emeros. Prospective members seeking entry into the Mexican Mafia must endure loyalty tests, which often involve heinous criminal acts such as assaults, thefts, or even murder. The gang places considerable emphasis on maintaining a strict set of internal ethical principles. For instance, in 1997, following a failed robbery committed by two gang members in Texas, swift and lethal action was taken. Both culprits were executed. One was discovered strangled, stabbed, and hit by a car, while the other was found fatally stabbed. The Mexican Mafia actively engages in a wide array of illicit activities, including drug trafficking, racketeering, contract killings, and fraud. Its operations extend across multiple states, notably Florida, California, Arizona, and Texas. Rollin 60 Crips. The Rollin 60 neighborhood Crips stands as a prominent gang operating within Los Angeles. Originating as a breakaway faction of the notorious West Side Crips, their formation dates back to the late 1970s. Their membership, estimated to exceed 2,000 individuals, is largely drawn from the Westchester and Crenshaw neighborhoods in Los Angeles. In terms of their criminal pursuits, the 60s gang is notorious for their involvement in a range of unlawful activities. These encompass bank robberies, carjackings, assaults with deadly weapons, home invasions, and even instances of rape. Additionally, the gang has been known to engage in bitter feuds with rival gangs such as the Inglewood Family Gangster Bloods and the neighborhood perilous. Barrio Azteca. Another gang that raises significant concerns for both local and international law enforcement agencies is Barrio Azteca, also known as Los Azteca. This violent street gang boasts several thousand members and operates across a wide geographic range, including southern states like New Mexico and Texas, as well as East Coast states like Massachusetts and Pennsylvania. Notably, their influence even extends to Juarez, Mexico, where they command another membership of around 5,000 individuals. What renders this gang particularly dangerous is its affiliation with the ruthless Juarez drug cartel in Mexico. This cartel has its own militant branch known as La Linea, which frequently enlists the assistance of gang members and thugs from Barrio Azteca to carry out their illicit activities. The gang has been implicated in activities such as cocaine trafficking, high-profile assassinations, and even prison massacres. Without a doubt, they are a group one should avoid getting involved with at all costs. Trinitarios. While many of the discussed jail gangs have their roots in western and southern states, Trinitarios stands out as a gang that originated in New York City. Primarily consisting of Dominican immigrants, this gang officially came into existence in 1989. It has earned a reputation for being one of the swiftest growing gangs in the nation, with members scattered across all 5 boroughs of New York City and spanning various other states including New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Ohio. Renowned for its high level of violence, the Trinitarios gang has left a trail of criminal activity. In 2012, numerous members from the Bronx chapter were apprehended for their involvement in 9 homicides and 24 attempted murders. The gang is also deeply entrenched in drug trafficking, focusing on the distribution of marijuana, crack cocaine, powder cocaine, and oxycodone. Their criminal activities are a cause for serious concern within the law enforcement community. And that wraps up our exploration of the most prominent gangs in the United States, shedding light on the intricate dynamics that shape our communities. If you found this information eye-opening, don't miss out on more engaging content. Subscribe to our channel for future updates and insights on various topics. Your support helps us continue delivering valuable content to you.